Let's get started. Yeah. So we started off with linear inequalities in one variable. We were discussing problem sheet number. We were on sheet number 15 and we are done till question number 7. So we have problem number 8. So the solution of which inequality is not represented by the following graph. Okay. So there is a given graph and we need to check which inequality does not represent a solution to that. Okay, so we'll quickly see each option. So such questions will be lengthy. I mean, even though this is an easy question, you have to go to every option and verify those options, right? So this is going to be a lengthy question. I mean, it'll take more time. So the first question, we have x by 2 greater than or equal to minus 2. What do? You have x divided by 2. So to get rid of that 2, you have to multiply with 2 on both sides. So this becomes x greater than or equal to minus 4. Okay. And before that, note that there is a dot here. Okay. There is a dot here. Make that correction. Make that correction. So from the graph, it's clear that this is represented by x greater than or equal to minus 4. Why? Because we have all numbers starting from minus 4 and going towards the right side of minus 4. So we have all numbers greater than minus 4 and equal to minus 4. So we have all numbers to the right side of minus 4, including minus 4. So that is represented by x greater than or equal to minus 4. Now in the second option, we have 3x greater than or equal to minus 2. So our x is equal to x greater than or equal to minus 2 by 3. So we have the answer already, but let's check the other options as well. So what do you do here? Here you have to be very careful because, to get rid of the coefficient of x, to isolate x, what do you have to do? What do you have to do? What do you have to do? Of course, again, there is a correction in this option. Correct this as make this less than or equal to. Okay, there's a correction. There is a correction in that option. Please make a correction. Now, to isolate x, what do you have to do? You have to divide with minus 5. When you divide with minus 5, what happens? What happens when you divide with a negative number? What happens when you divide with a negative number? Can you tell me? What happens? We discussed this in the last class. What happens when you divide with a negative number? What happens to the inequality sign? Yeah, it will reverse the sign, right? The sign of the inequality will reverse. Okay. So we have x greater than or equal to 20 divided by minus 5. So we have x greater than or equal to minus 4. So again, this represents the inequality given in the question. I hope this is clear for others as well. Olivia, Prisha, Robin, I hope this is clear. When you divide with a negative number, it is okay to divide with a negative number on both sides of an inequality, just like you do it for an equation. But when you do with a negative number, when you multiply or divide with a negative number, you have to be very careful because the inequality will flip. Yeah. The next question, again, we have minus 7x less than or equal to 28. So we have x greater than or equal to 28 divided by minus 7, which is minus 4. So we have x is greater than or equal to minus 4. So option A, option C, option D represent the same thing. And the question talks about which of the following does not represent. So our answer is B. B is our answer. So let's go to the next question. The solution of 1.6x less than or equal to minus 0.2x plus 0.9. So in this case, you have variables on both sides. So you have to combine the like terms. You have to bring x to one side. You have to bring all the x terms to one side and then combine the like terms. So we have 1.6x less than or equal to minus 0.2 times x plus 0.9. Now what do? I take minus 0.2x to the other side. Okay. So this becomes 1.6x plus 0.2x less than or equal to 0.9. Right. So this becomes, what is 1.6 plus 0.2? It's 1.8. So 1.8 times x less than or equal to 0.9. Now you divide the entire expression with 1.8. Your x is less than or equal to 0.9 divided by 1.8. Okay. 0.9 times 2 is 1.8 because 9 times 2 is 18. Okay. So 1.8 is 0.9 times 2. So this becomes, this expression becomes 1 over 2. So our solution is x less than or equal to 1 by 2. X less than or equal to 1 by 2 is our solution. Okay. If you don't want to deal with decimals, what do? If you don't want to deal with decimals, what do? You just multiply with a 10 on both numerator and denominator so that decimals will go away. So this becomes 9 over 18, which is same as 1 by 2. Yes. Got it? Yeah. Let's go to the next one. Which inequality has the same solution set as p less than minus 2? So you must be wondering, we have p in the question, but when you look at the options, the variables are different. The ideas does not matter because variable is just a representation. It's just a label that we have given to the unknown quantity. Okay. The variable, the letter that is representing the variable is just a label. It's just a name that we have given to the variable. So we don't have to worry about the options having different variable. All right. So first let's look at this one. So this is x less than minus 3. This is y less than minus 2. This is 2u less than minus 5. So u less than minus 5 by 2. This is v less than minus 4. V less than minus 4. So tell me which one matches? Which one matches? The matching one is this option. The matching one is option B. Because both of them will represent the same solution set. Okay. Both of them will represent the same solution set. All right. When you represent the solution set on the graph, okay, it will represent the same thing. Or if you represent it as a set, the original expression can be represented as a set in this form. Set of all p such that p is less than minus 2. Okay. This can be represented as set of all y such that y less than minus 2. These two are exactly the same. Because this is what we call the set builder form. In set builder form, the variable does not have any significance. Okay, it's just a label. This simply means that this will represent all the real numbers less than minus 2 on the number line. Again, this will represent all real numbers less than minus 2 on the number line. Clear? Yes. Is this okay? Yeah. Shall we go to the next sheet? So let's go to Yeah. Did you guys try this out? Did you guys try this out? Please give me an answer. How many questions were you able to solve out of 10? Please give me an estimate. How many questions were you able to solve out of 10? Please give me a number. Eight. What about others? Others? Okay. Pursha and Olivia, can you give me an estimate? How many were you able to solve? Pursha, can you tell me? Yeah. See, even though you have got the answers for most of the questions, but I'll be solving every question in the class, okay? Because this is going on record. So in case you want to revisit this later on, you want to revisit these problems, you can actually watch these lectures later on. You can play it on 2x speed or something like that. Okay. So I'm making sure that I'm solving every question in the class. So Ayan has an old phone that allows him to take up to 20 pictures. He has already taken 16 pictures. Which of the following inequalities represent the number of pictures he can take further? Okay. These are typical questions that will appear on an SAT. Okay. A lot of questions in an SAT are word problems which describe a real life scenario. Okay. So of course, when you look at the options, the variable they have chosen is P. So let us assume that P is the pictures, P is the number of pictures, P is the number of photos that he can take further. So he has already taken 16 and phone will let you take up to 20 pictures. Up to 20 means including 20. Maximum value is 20. So he has already taken 16. He can take a further of P photos. So 16 plus P has to be less than or equal to 20. 16 plus P is less than or equal to 20. This is one condition. So this will give the maximum value of P. This will give the maximum value of P. So without doing any math, you can say that he can take maximum of 4 more photos. He can take a maximum of 4 more photos. So what is the minimum? What is the minimum number of photos he can take? What is the minimum number of photos he can take? What is the minimum number of photos he can take further? 0, right? He can choose not to take any more. You get my point? The minimum number he can take is 0. The maximum is decided by the capacity of the phone. Okay, so he can take a maximum of 4 and minimum of 0. So we have 16 plus P less than or equal to 20, and your P has to be greater than or equal to 0. So that is the right answer. Hope this is clear. Is there any confusion? Do let me know. Is this okay? Yeah. And here we have a system of inequalities. Okay, this can be represented together in this manner. We have P is greater than or equal to 0, P is less than or equal to 4. The solution can be represented as a compound inequality. Compound inequality. So this simply means that the P values can vary from 0 to 4. Of course, this will not take all real numbers between 0 and 4. This will not take all values between 0 and 4. This will take only integer values. This will take only the integer values because, it's the number of photos. It can be a fraction. You can't take half a photo. You can't take half a picture. You can't take quarter of a picture. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? So the solution set does not represent all numbers from 0 to 4 on the number line. It represents what? The whole numbers from 0 to 4 on the number line. If you represent it as a set, it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the set. The set of all whole numbers which are between 0 and 4. Got it? Yes. Next question. Which inequality can be used to find the number of 39-cent stamps you can purchase for $4? Uh-huh. You have $4. $4 is nothing but 400 cents. Okay. Now the maximum number you can purchase is, what is the maximum number you can purchase? The maximum number you can purchase is 400 divided by 0.39, right? 400 divided by 0.39 is the maximum number you can purchase. So the maximum number will be 400 divided by 0.39. So if you represent the number of stamps as Z, when you look at the options, the variable Z, if you represent the number of stamps as Z, your Z value has to be less than or equal to 400 divided by 0.39. No, it's not 0.39. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. We have converted everything to cents, right? So it's 39. 400 divided by 39. I'm sorry. It's 400 divided by 39. I've converted everything into cents. So it is 400 divided by 39. Or if you convert everything to dollars, 39 cents can be written as $0.39. So we can write this as $4 divided by $0.39. That way also you can represent it. So the maximum number, your Z value will be less than or equal to 400 by 39, or your Z value is less than or equal to 4.00 divided by 0.39. Now you can see that the matching option is given in option B. Okay, do not get confused with this. No, not B, sorry. The matching option is given in option C. The matching option is given in option C. Okay, do not get confused with this. Okay, this says Z value is greater than or equal to 4 by 0.3, 4 divided by 0.39. That is not the answer. The maximum number of stamps is 4 divided by 0.39. That is the maximum number. So the number of stamps you can purchase is going to be less than the maximum number, less than or equal to the maximum number. So that is what you have done here. Hope this is clear. The maximum number. Yes. This is okay, right? Others, if you have any confusion, do let me know. If you want me to repeat, do let me know. Cool. Again, these are typical SAT problems, okay? Helen has $30 to spend at the festival. Admission costs $5, lunch will cost $6, and each ride ticket costs $1.25. Which inequality represents the number of ride tickets that Helen can buy? Okay, so she has $30 to spend. Okay, and how will this go? 30. Okay, how will this go? This will go to admission as $5. For lunch, it will be $6. And when you look at the options, the variable is x. So if x represents the number of ride tickets, x represents the number of ride tickets, and each ride ticket cost $1.25. So one ride will cost $1.25. Two will cost 2 times 1.25. Three will cost 3 times 1.25. And if you have X number of rides, it will cost X times 1.25. So that will be 1.25X. Yes. So the total expense will be $5 plus $6 plus 1.25X. And maximum she can spend is $30. She can spend a maximum of $30 because that's all she has, right? So 5 plus 6 plus 1.25 times x will be less than or equal to 30. So 5 plus 6 plus 1.25 times x will be less than or equal to 30. You understand why this makes sense? We have written down all our expenses. There is a fixed cost to enter. There is an admission cost of $5. There is a fixed cost for the lunch, and the ride tickets. Each ride tickets cost 1.5 $1.25. Okay, each ride ticket costs $1.25. So if you have X number of ride tickets, it will cost X times $1.25. So this expression on the LHS represents the total expense. Okay, and this can be a maximum of $30 because that is all she has. She has only $30 to spend. Cool. Got it? Let me know. Let me know. Now, next question. The sum of measures of any two sides of a triangle must be greater than the third side. What is the greatest possible integer value of x? Oh, you have a triangle here. Can a triangle take any three random numbers as its side lengths? Can a triangle take any three random numbers as its sides? No, they cannot, right? It has to satisfy something called the triangle inequality. I hope you have heard of this term, triangle inequality. Hope you have heard of the term triangle inequality. Have you heard of this term called triangle inequality? Let me know. Triangle inequality. Have you heard of triangle inequality? Others, Robin, Prisha. Have you heard of triangle inequality? Prisha? Yeah. See, if you have a triangle, sorry, triangle A, B, C, and if I represent the side length as X, Y, Z, the sum of two sides has to be greater than the third side. Sum of two sides has to be greater than the third side. So your X plus Y has to be greater than C. And similarly, your Z plus Y has to be greater than X. Your Z plus X has to be greater than 1. Can somebody tell me why this makes sense? Why is X plus Y greater than Z? Why does this make sense? Can somebody tell me why this makes sense? This is an interesting fact, right? In a triangle, the sum of two sides has to be greater than third side. Is it just a rule or does it make sense? Do you have to blindly memorize this? Is there any logic behind this? Can you tell me? Can you tell me? Is there any logic behind this? If you don't know, please give me a no. If you have an answer, do let me know. If you don't know, let me know. No problem. If you don't know the logic behind this, let me know. No problem. Others, why it makes sense to write x plus y greater than z? Any idea why? Any idea why? Others, Olivia, Robin, do you have any idea why it makes sense to write this inequality for a triangle? Okay. Okay. Listen carefully. Listen. See, there are no random facts in math. Okay. Everything has a logic. Okay. Simple. Say you are going from A point A to point B. You're going from point A to point B. Now, what is the shortest path you can take from A to B? The shortest way to reach at B will be will be you're going from A to B. What is the shortest path to reach B? What is the shortest path to reach B? It will be along the, it will be along the, you're traveling from A to B. The fastest path to reach point B from point A will be along the, hey, you know the answer to this. It's quite intuitive. What does your intuition tell you? How can you reach from A to B in the shortest path, shortest way? It will be along the, it will be along the, it will be along the straight line joining A and B, right? Of course, the shortest path will be along the straight line joining A and B. Is that clear? Is that clear? Yes. Now what happens if you choose any other path to go to B? If you choose any other path, if you choose any other path to go to B, say you travel in this direction and then go to B, what happens? Say you go through C, what happens? It is going to be a longer route, right? it is going to be a longer path, right? It is going to be a longer path. Yes or no? Yeah. So if I represent this as x, this is y. I mean, so this I have represented as z. This is x. It is clear that z has to be less than x plus y, because when you're going from A to B, you're choosing two paths. One path is is along the straight line joining A and B. That is going to be the shortest path, and that will be always smaller than any other path you choose. Got it? Is it clear now? Now look at the triangle. Now we look at the triangle and tell me why it makes sense. You're going from A to B. You're going from A to B. The shortest path is along the straight line joining A and B. But if you travel this way, it's going to be a longer road. Okay. So we have Z or X plus Y is greater than Z, right? Similarly, we have the other inequalities. Does this make sense? Does this make sense? Please let me know. Does this make sense? Please let me know. You understand now, right? Why triangle inequality is valid? Why triangle inequality makes sense? Of course, suppose you have a situation like this. I have A, B length as 10, and this is 3 units. This is 3 units. And this is 4 units. Such a case will not be possible because the point C will collapse to this place. This will be 3 units here. Okay. But here you can only have 4 units. Okay. So it's not possible. It is not possible. In fact, if you have 6 units here, if you have 6 units here, sorry, 7 units here, what happens? If you have 7 units here, 3 units here, what happens here? Your B, C, A will lie on the same straight line. See this? This will be the case. This will be the case. Okay, we say that the 3 points are collinear. They are on the same straight line. If they are exactly the same, what? 3 plus 7 is exactly equal to 10. Clear? Yeah. So we have a triangle inequality here. Now, of course, in this triangle, we have 15, 12, and x given. 15, 12, and x given. So let's apply triangle inequality because, they talk about the greatest possible value of x. Greatest possible value of x. Suppose if I call this A, if I call this A, call this B, call this C, you apply the triangle inequality here, what do you get? What do you get if you apply the triangle inequality? You say that going from A to B will be the shortest path, and going through C is going to take longer. So 15 plus 12 is going to be a bigger number than x. That is what our triangle inequality says. 15 plus 12 is going to be a bigger number than x. Of course, this is not a right angle, okay? If this is not a right angle, if this is a right angle, we can um, find the value of x as a unique number. So don't worry about this angle. It's not given that it's a right angle. Just that the figure looks like, in the figure it looks like a right angle, that's all. So you have your x value less than 27. So what is the greatest possible integer value of x? The greatest possible integer value of x is your x is less than 27. So what is the greatest possible integer value of x? It will be 26, right? 26. Yeah. Is this fine? Twenty-six, because x is less than 27. X cannot be 27. It can be any number which is less than 27. So x can be smaller numbers, but you're looking at the greatest possible value of x. Tell me. Is this confusing? Hello? Are you guys with me? Your x has to be 26 because x is less than 27. They've asked for the largest possible value of x. Robin and Olivia, this is fine. Yeah, got it. And so I have a question here. So we just applied only one of the triangle inequalities. Shouldn't we apply the other cases as well, other conditions as well? Yes, you have to check that as well. Okay. You have to check that cases as well. Okay. What does triangle inequality say? Sum of the two sides, sum of any two sides has to be greater than the third side. So we have 15 plus 12 greater than x. We also have x plus 12 greater than 15. We also have x plus 15 greater than 12. So these conditions must be valid as well. So these conditions must be valid as well. So we have x greater than 3 here. So that doesn't create any problem. And from this condition, we have x greater than minus 3. Again, that doesn't create any problem. Okay, when you choose x is equal to 26, that doesn't create any problem. Okay. So in every triangle, there will be three conditions. Sum of any two sides will be greater than the third side. So the third side can be chosen in three ways. Third side can be chosen in three different ways. So we have three different inequalities. Okay, we have just taken one inequality to find the maximum value of x. Okay, but you have to make sure that the other inequalities also make sense. You have to make sure that the other inequalities also make sense. Clear? Let's see the next question. Ashmal's bowling score in his third game was 10 points less than his score in the first game and 5 points more than his score in the second game. The total point for all three games was no more than 275. What is the greatest number of points Ashmal could have scored in his first game? Uh-huh. So that is a very good question. So this may look confusing if you do not and fully understand the question. So there is a person who is playing three games. Okay, so in the third game was 10 points less than his first game. Okay. Now look at the question. In the end, they have asked for the greatest number of points he could have scored in the first game. So we know what are unknown quantities. The unknown quantity needs to be chosen as the score in the first game. So let's choose this as x. Let us choose this as x. Yes. The points in the first game is chosen as x. Now in the third game, what happens? The third game points were 10 points less than his score in the first game. So in the third game, he has x minus 10. In the third game, he has x minus 10. Now, what about the second game? What about the second game? 5 points more than his score in the second game. So third game was 5 points more than the second game. So what do we do here? What do we do here? We have an information that the third game score is 5 points more than his score in the second game. So the third is equal to 5 plus second. Third is 5 plus second. So how do you represent the score in the second game? It is third game minus 5, right? So in the third game, he has x minus 10. So in the second game, it will be x minus 10 minus 5. Why does it make sense? Because, you know, the second game is nothing but third minus 5. Second game, it is third game minus 5. Now we have all the quantities. Read the question once again. His score in the third game was 10 points less than the score in the first game. So first game we have chosen as x. And the third game, it is going to be x minus 10. Now the next statement says, and 5 points more than his score in the second game. So third game is 5 points more than the second. So third is 5 plus second. So second is third minus 5. And third is x minus 10. So your second is x minus 10 minus 5. Is it clear so far? Is it clear so far how we have chosen the first game as the variable and how we have represented the remaining game scores in terms of x? Tell me if it's clear. Please let me know. Is it clear now? Yes? Others? Others, please let me know. Please let me know. Robin and Prisha. Yeah. Now there is one more statement. The total points of all three games put together is no more than 275. So it cannot be greater than 275. It cannot be greater than 275, which means it has to be less than or equal to 275. It's no more than 275. What does it mean? It is no more than 275 means what? It cannot be greater than 275. So it has to be 275 or lesser, not more than 275. It cannot be greater than 275. So it has to be 275 or lesser. 275 or lesser. It has to be 275 or lesser. It has to be 275 or lesser. Yes. So sum of all the scores is 275 or lesser. So we have x as one of the scores. X minus 10 is another score. And the third one was x minus 10. No, the second one. X minus 10 minus 5. And these cannot be greater than or greater than 275. So the sum has to be less than or equal to 275. Less than or equal to 275. Now it's just a matter of simplification. Now it's just a matter of simplification. You have x plus x minus 10 plus x minus 10 minus 5 less than or equal to 275. You add the quantities x become 3x. To combine the like terms, we have 3x. So we have 3x less than or equal to 275 plus 25. So we have 3x less than or equal to 300. Your x is less than or equal to 100. Your x is less than or equal to 100. So question talks about the greatest number of points he could have scored in the first game. The greatest number. Yes. So you're looking at the maximum value of x. Of course, here we got the maximum value of x. Here we got the maximum value of x. Is this clear? The maximum value of x. The maximum value of x. Maximum value of x. Yes or no? Maximum value of x is this one, this quantity. If there is any confusion, do let me know. How you have chosen the unknown quantity? We have chosen the unknown quantity as the points in the first game because that is what asked for. That is what is asked for. Okay. Now we have written everything else in terms of x. The third game was x minus 10. And the second game was third game minus 5. Because third game is given to be 5 plus seconds. Is this clear? Let me know. Let me know. Please have a look and let me know. Are you with me? Yes. Others? Okay. Yeah. So let's go to the next question. Ravi obtained 70 and 75 marks in the first two unit tests. The minimum marks he should get in the third test to have an average of at least 60 marks is. Okay. So he has 75 and 70 and 75 in two exams. The minimum marks he should get in the third exam to have an average of at least 60. So we are looking at an average of 60. So let's see that let's assume that in the third test it is X. Let's call it X. Okay. Now you calculate the average. So the average value will be, how do you calculate the average? You take the sum of all 70, 75 X divided by 3. So that is the average of three numbers. The average of three numbers should be at least 60. 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 So this has to be, the minimum value has to be 60. So this has to be 60 or more than 60. So what symbol do we write? This is the at least 60. At least 60 means this is minimum 60. Minimum 60 means what? This will be 60 or more than 60. 60 or more than 60. 60 or more than 60. So this is to be greater than or equal to 60. Greater than or equal to 60. So we have 145 plus x greater than or equal to 180. Multiply by 3 on the other side. Take 3 to the other side, it becomes 180. So your x is greater than or equal to 180 minus 45. And this number comes out as 135. Oops, did we make a mistake? Sorry, I made a mistake. It's not 45, it's 145. I'm sorry, it's 145. 180 minus 145, which is going to be 35, not 135. So he has to score a minimum of 35 marks. Okay. If he scores exactly 35, the average will be exactly 60. If he scores more than 35, the average will be more than 60. You understand? So this is a real world scenario you often encounter, right? This is a situation you're familiar with. You have 70 and 75 in two exams. So if you score 35 in the third exam, you're going to end up with an average of 60. If you score more than 35, you're going to get an average of more than 60. So the minimum marks should be 35. Got it? Got it? Got it? Let me know. Make sense? This is a real situation, real life scenario. You would have often come across such situations where you are where you have two tests of 70, two scores of 70 and 75, and you are looking at an average of 60. You understand that you should get a 35 in the third exam to get an average of 60. But if you get more than 35, you get an average of more than 60. So that's the idea. Hope this is clear. Hello. Is this clear? Is this clear? Let me know. Let me know if this is okay. Yeah. So let's go to the next one. The longest side of a triangle is 3 times the shortest side, and the third side is 2 centimeters shorter than the longest side. The perimeter of the triangle is at least 61. Minimum length of the shortest side is. Of course, we can choose the shortest side as x. Okay. Then the longest side will be 3x. The longest side will be 3x. And the third side is going to be 2 centimeters shorter than the longest side. So the third side will be 3x minus 2. Now look at this and let me know whether it makes sense. We have chosen the length of the shortest side as x. So longest side is 3 times the shortest side, which is 3x. And we have a third side, and third side is 3x minus 2. Third side is 3x minus 2. Does this make sense? Is this okay? The side lengths are chosen as x, 3x, and 3x minus 2 as per the information given in the question. Yes or no? Yeah. Now the perimeter has to be at least 61. So it's at least 61 means what? It is minimum 61, which means it has to be 61 or more. So it has to be greater than or equal to 61. So you write the expression for perimeter. The perimeter has to be, the perimeter is the sum of all sides. So we have the shortest side. The third side is 3x. I mean the longest side is 3x. The third side is 3x minus 2. And the sum is perimeter. It has to be greater than or equal to 61. Why do we have greater than or equal to? Why do we have greater than or equal to? Because the perimeter is given to be at least 61, which means it has minimum value is 61, which means it is 61 or more, which means it is greater than or equal to 61. So you take 2 to the other side, combine the like terms. So we have 7x minus 2 greater than or equal to 61, 7x greater than or equal to 63. You have x greater than or equal to 9. X is greater than or equal to 9. What does it mean? The minimum value of x is 9. So minimum value of the shortest side is 9. Minimum value of the shortest side is 9. Minimum value of the shortest side is 9. Okay. Let's do one more question before we wind up. Let's quickly do one more question before we wind up. Stay with me. In an experiment, a solution of hydrochloric acid is to be kept between 30 degrees and 35 degrees. So again, this describes a typical SAT question. Okay. There is a situation, real life situation given. What is the range of temperature in degree Fahrenheit if conversion formula is given by C is equal to 5 by 9 into F minus 32, where C and F represent temperature in degree Celsius and degree Fahrenheit respectively. Okay, so there is a conversion formula here, and in degree Celsius, the value needs to be kept between 30 and 35. In degree Celsius, the value needs to be kept between 30 and 35. So we need to find the corresponding range of values in Fahrenheit. How do we do that? So let's see. Let's quickly see this question. See, we need to have your C value between, the C value needs to be between 30 and 35. This is clear? This statement is clear? C value has to be between 30 and 35. Now your C value is given as 5 by 9 times F minus 32. This has to be between 30 and 35. Just give me 2 more minutes. We'll wind up after this. Now this is a compound inequality. This is a compound inequality. There are 2 inequalities. Okay. You can either take individual inequalities and solve it. You take this inequality first, then you take this inequality and solve it. You can do that way. You can do it in single step as well. I'll show you how to do that in a single step. You multiply with 9 by 5 on both sides. I mean, everywhere. You multiply with 9 by 5 everywhere. So this becomes 9 by 5 times 30. Hello. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There is issue at my end. Sorry for ending the class abruptly. We'll continue in the next class. Okay. Very sorry. There is some technical issue at my end. I'm sorry. We'll solve this question in the next class. Okay. I'm sorry.